What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and we have some of Sherry LeBlanc's cards from the 5Ds anime coming out. So, she was a very stereotypical French. They made her like a French stereotype in the English dub. I never watched the Japanese dub, but anyway, she has some Noble Knight cards, and like it centers around summoning Fleur de Lis in this level, and some synchros. But anyway, let's just jump into the card. First up is Noble Knight's Shield Bearer. So it's a level 4 Light Warrior effect monster. Its first and second effects are you only use this card's first and second once per turn. Okay, so you can only use either or effect. You can't use both. If this is normal or special summon, you can banish one light monster from your graveyard, draw a card. Second effect, you can banish this card from your hand or face up on the field to add a level 6 or lower wind beast monster from your deck to your hand. This is pretty good just in general, I think. I think this is like, if they make a whole archetype around wind and beast type, you're just gonna run this card just so you banish this and it's your like generic search card. I think this is great just in general, since you can search at the very least. I don't know how often you'll be getting that second or the first effect, but I think the second effect is going to be very relevant. Next up is Horse of the Floral Knights, which is a level 3 Wind Beast effect monster with 400 attack and 800 defense, and its first effect is a hard once per turn. If this is normal or special summon, you can add a light Noble Knight monster from your deck to your hand. So it could be the first one, or it could be the next upcoming card. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So something you can do is you can banish this card from your hand to search this. You can normal summon this and then add a light noble monster, a light noble knight from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. And then you can fuse. So the next one is Noble Knight's Spear Holder, which is a level 2 warrior effect monster. 800 attack, 400 defense. If this is normal or special summon, you can target one level 8 or lower monster until you control until the end turn. Its name becomes Fleur Synchron, and it is also treated as a tuner. You can tribute this card, add one equip spell from your deck to your hand. So, a little cool thing. Discard, you banish this card from your hand to search this. You can normal summon this, add this if you wanted, and then you can fuse. You might be able to fuse these two into this one, which is a light warrior and a fusion. Which, yes. So with these three cards, you're guaranteed to get this card if everything resolves. So what does this do? It's a level 6 light beast warrior effect monster with 2200 attack and 1600 defense, and requires a light warrior monster and a beast monster. And its first and second effects are hard once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon one level 2 monster from your hand or graveyard once per turn. When your opponent activates a trap card during your turn, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, set that card. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a wind warrior monster, you can destroy a face up monster on the field. So yeah, Fleur de Lis, or the synchro monster that she summons, is a wind warrior synchro. Also, when you do that 3-card combo to summon this, or to summon this out, right? Banish this, add this, normal summon this, add this, use this second effect to fuse these two, then you can special summon it back, and then you can go into a synchro and destroy a face-up monster on the field if you want. That seems pretty good. It helps you. It's pretty much a 1-card. This gives us, in this deck already, there's a 1-card Synchro 8, which is pretty powerful. Yeah, I like this. I like this engine. I will maybe I'll make a video and I'll test it out on casual duel series. Because it's really cool that there's literally one card. There's one card, Synchro 8s in this deck. I mean, you have to commit your normal summon, but still. Also, this is searchable through Rhoda as well. So, you can have, like, 4 copies in your deck. So that's pretty cool. Next up is her field spell, École des Zones. I probably butchered that because I don't speak French. But it's a field spell, and its first effect is a hard once per turn. If the turn player summons exactly one monster, destroy that monster, and if you do special summon one token to the destroyed monster's controller's field, its attack and defense become the attack and defense of the destroyed monster, but it cannot attack directly if this face-up card leaves the field. Destroy all mask tokens on the field. This seems more like a stun deck piece than you would run in this deck, but we haven't seen all of her cards, so we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, though, this doesn't seem, outside of like a stun deck, I don't know what we'll do with this card, but it's very interesting nonetheless. Alright. Soul Binding Gate is another field spell. You can activate this card if you control no monsters, and set spell or trap card you control was destroyed by a card effect this turn. So that's the only way you can activate it. During your main phase, if exactly one monster is summoned whose attack is lower than your life points, and Z1 is in your graveyard, destroy that monster, and if you do, take 800 and inflict 800 to your opponent. I believe this is supposed to be a, so I don't think this is for Sherry. I think this is for, this seems like it would be the Infernity player in the animes thing, because Z1, I believe, is a, maybe that's a Mech card. I don't remember. I just remembered that Zone and all that kinda is either the Infernity player or one of the Mech Knights. Either way, this I don't think this is a very good card. And then also just Isolde is getting a reprint. Next up for Sherry's cards, because we're gonna go Sherry's cards and then we're gonna talk about Utopias. So more of Sherry's cards. Sage de Fleur. Level 8 Spellcaster Effect Monster. You can target one monster you control and one other card on the field. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you destroy those targets. Okay, so you can destroy one of your opponent's cards and yours to summon that. That's pretty cool. If this card is sent from your field to the graveyard, you can target one other monster in your graveyard, shuffle into deck, and then you can add a level 1 plant monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And that's supposed to get your Fleur Synchron, because it's a level 1 plant monster that happens to be a synchro. If Globe Bulb wasn't banned, this would also get Globe Bulb, but since Globe Bulb is banned, it's probably just gonna get your Fleur. At least in this deck. It's not bad, because it has a pretty easy summoning condition. You just have to go second for it. Overall, like, you could probably play this in, like, any spellcaster deck, really. Because, well, you have to target a monster you control, so... either way, I think that this is still fine, nonetheless. Next up, White Steed of the Floral Knights, level 6, Wind Beast Effect Monster, 2400 attack, 1800 defense. You can only special summon this card, you can only special summon with the way that in this card's name's first effect once per turn. You can use this, and you can only use this card's second effect once per turn. If you control a level 2 or lower monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card you control, negate that attack, and if you do, destroy the target. Okay, so it negates an attack at the cost of destroying one of your monsters. Uh, that's not the worst. It just depends on what deck you're playing. Because this can go in any deck, really. If you have a playing level 2, you play like a level 2 tuner, and then you can special summon this from your hand, and then you can make a Synchro 8. And if you're playing a deck that likes to have your cards destroyed, that second effect isn't the worst, since it negates an attack, and then you can destroy one of your cards and get an effect. As for the Sherry's like Fleur de Lis deck, I don't see a lot of destruction synergy happening, but there's cards that, they want to destroy cards. Overall, I think you're still going to play this card just for its first effect. Its second effect seems pretty niche, at least in this deck. I think that, you would only use that effect if you really, really needed it. Overall, though, I don't think its second effect is that good in the deck yet, but I haven't seen a card that benefits from destruction, other than maybe this, to destroy your opponent's mask token. But yeah. Next up, Necrosynchron. It is a level 2 Dark Machine Tuner effect with 200 attack, 400 defense, and its second and third effects are hard once per turn. This card's name becomes Fleur Synchron while on the field or in the graveyard. You can target its second effect is you can target one other face-up monster you control and increase its level by 2 until the end of the turn. And then if this is sent to the graveyard, a synchro material for a wind monster, you can special summon one level 1 plant monster from your deck. That's also pretty good. That gets your Fleur Synchron, and this counts as Fleur Synchron as well. So yeah, great card, just in general. Foolish Burial seems like it's going to be really good in this deck. This also works with the fusion listed here. So you can summon it back from your graveyard, which is pretty neat. So yeah, you want to summon your wind synchros with this. So we got our level 10 Wind Warrior Synchro effect. It has 3,000 attack, 2,400 defense. It's a Baroness de Fleur. And it's a generic card. It's a generic one. So it's one tuner and then any non-tuner monster. Its second effect is a hard once per turn. Its first effect is once per turn. Target one card on the field, destroy it. Fair. While face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Okay, so it's a one-time while it's face up on the field, negate and destroy. That's pretty good. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard. Return this to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon that monster. Also, not a bad effect at all. So you can negate something, you pop it, and then when your standby phase rolls around, or since it's during the standby phase, you can do it on your opponent's turn if you really wanted to. Bounce back, get a level 9 or lower monster from your graveyard to summon. Since I'm assuming what you're going to be wanting to do with this is you're going to want to kind of synchro climb into it, so you can synchro into like a wind level 8 warrior, negate something, or some of this, negate something, or pop a card. If they try to stop it, you negate the activation, destroy a different card, and then during the standby phase, you bounce out, get the level 8 that you synchroed, used as synchro material to some of this, is what I'm assuming you're going to want to do. This card is really, really good in general. Pops the card and negates something. Granted, it's only once, but the whole idea is this goes away to end everything. So yeah, great card. Next up, Fleur de Fleur. Equipped spell. Activate one card. You can only activate one of it per turn, and its third effect is a hard once per turn. Activate this card by targeting one level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. And if you do equip it with this card, if this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. You equip monster gains 700 attack, and if this is sent from the field, from the spell trap card zone to the graveyard, you can equip this to a synchro monster you control. Okay, so the idea is you summon one of your level 2 tuners out, or one of your level 2 monsters. You synchro up with this card, because this card is like a premature burial for the deck. So, you synchro up, then you equip to the synchro monster, and the synchro monster gains 700. That's pretty good. What this also works with this card right here. So it's this, because this card says you can tribute this card to add a equip spell from your deck to your hand. So what this allows you to do is, when you get your 3-card combo, so you do this, so you banish this card right here, add this card, normal summon this, add this, fusion summon into this, then you can tribute if you wanted. So summon this back, right? So you fusion summon into this, you summon this back, you make this a tuner, treat it as Fleur Synchron, you tribute this card to add this equip spell, then you play this equip spell, then you synchro up, and then this gets attached to the level 8 synchro is something you can do. That's a pretty neat little thing. I like the synergies in this deck. There's a lot of like small synergies that's pretty cool. Synchro Dilemma. Continue a spell card. During your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Send one synchron monster from your hand, or face up field to the graveyard, then special summon one monster from your hand. Okay. You target one other card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one synchron monster with a different original name than that card from your hand or graveyard. Alright, so this isn't that bad. You get to send a synchron monster to set up your graveyard, and then summon out another one from your hand. And then it also lets you target one other card, destroy it. So yeah. Wait, its first effect is the only hard ones per turn. Okay, during your main phase. Okay, these are both during the first effect. Okay, so you just get to choose. This card's not bad. You're probably gonna run it just because it can special summon and it can destroy cards. Overall, not a bad card. Next, and so yeah, we got Sorcerer de Fleur and Necro de Fleur, or Necro Fleur, and then there's Fleur Synchron. So Necro Fleur is level 1 that keeps referencing. Fleur Synchron is the level 2, and then Chevalier de Fleur is the 8th that you go into to climb. Next up, we got great Utopia support. From what I've heard, I haven't read over these cards, but I've heard some people say that these cards are great, so let's see what they do. So first up is ZW Sylphid Wing. Light Beast effect, 800 attack, 1600 defense. You can only control one of it. Second effect is you can target a Utopia monster you control. You equip this card to your hand, or from your hand or field to the equipped target, and it gives, as a equipped spell, that gives it 800 attack. So, gives your Utopia 800 attack once per turn. If your opponent special summons a monster with an activated effect, you can make the equipped monster gain 1600 attack. Then, if the equipped monster would activate its effect by detaching material, you can you can send this card instead of sending one of those materials. Wow. 4 effects on one card. That's probably pretty good. Except for, the first one's supposed to be a downside. The rest are pretty good in general. Yeah. Not much to say about here. A lot of the equipped Utopias have pretty straightforward effects. This card is not bad. at all. And yeah, next up, ZS Ouroboros Sage. Dark Warrior effect, level 3. 600 attack, 0 defense. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one non-light number monster from your graveyard, but its effects are negated. And if you do equip both this card and one Utopia monster you control, the summon monster as equip spells, and it gives and each give it 1700 attack, but it can only declare. But you can only declare one attack this turn when equipped. A monster that is equipped with this when a monster this card is equipped to by its own effect declares an attack on an opponent's monster, you can make the attacking monster's attack becomes doubled but destroyed during the infant. Wow. I think I pronounced the freaking French words better than I pronounced the English words. Jesus. I read this. So basically, you equip this to number monster, and equip this and Utopia to a number monster. As equip spells, if they gain 3,400, because each one of them gets that, and then it doubles its current attack. That's pretty crazy. It's basic Zexal stuff. If you watch that anime, like early Zexal anime, it's the main character basically figuring out how to actually, play the game because he's awful at it. And then late in it, it's literally just who has the most absurd amounts of attack. And he gets up to like 100,000 and stuff like that. So yeah. And before anyone says anything, I know in the original series, in the Waking the Dragon art, they had infinite attack. There was a card with infinite attack, but that doesn't count because that's filler. So next up, Leo Utopia Ray. Light Warrior XD's effect. 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. 3 level 5 monsters, which you're probably not going to do. You're probably just going to rank up into it. This card's name is always treated as C39 Utopia Ray. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, equip one ZW monster from your deck or extra deck to this card, as if it were equipped by its own effect. This activation and effect cannot be negated once per turn. While this card is equipped with a ZW monster card, quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, and if you do, its current attack becomes halved. So it's a form of negation. See, this is the best card that we've looked at so far. I mean, sure, it requires 3 level 5s, but once again, you're probably gonna find a way to get that out pretty easily. As for the rest of the cards, the only one I actually kind of like is the first one. This one is a decent OTK one, but like, it seems really situational, and you need to kind of be losing or already winning. You have to be in a really weird position. And then this one also just gives a bunch of attack, and it's not very exciting. I think the other Zexals, like weapons and ZS and Zexal servers, are better than both of these. But this one so far is probably the best card that we've seen. Alright, so next up, Zexal Catapult. It's a normal spell card. Its first and second are hard once per turn. Its first effect, special summon one ZW or CS monster from your hand. Then, if you control a Utopia monster, you can change levels of all face-up monsters you currently control to 4 or 5. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card and one ZW or a ZS monster in your graveyard and target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. See, this card also helps you get into Leo Utopia Ray. So I think that overall, these two are really good. These two aren't are okay, but I feel like the older ones that we have are better. So that's gonna be it for this video. You guys can tell me what you think about the Utopia support and the Fleur de Lis support and Sherry's cards in the comment section below. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, my email is in the description. Please do so. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.